Welcome to Wealth and Wellness with Grace Nabasabla.
Welcome. Thank you all for coming. Today, we have a special topic, and it's about effective communication. How many of you know somebody who struggles with communication? This can be somebody who doesn't listen, who talks more than they listen, who uses a lot of harsh words, or never is quiet. Talk, and they can never keep quiet to let you have your wording. Anybody came to mind? Statistics show that 75% of the general public actually struggle with claustrophobia. You guessed it, the fear of public speaking. If somebody did not come to mind, you too might be among the 75%. Don't feel bad. I was among the 75% just 2 years ago. I grew up a painfully shy child, an adolescent. As far as I can remember, every time I attempted to raise my hand in class, as soon as I raised my hand, so were my brilliant answers, poof, dissipate in thin air. I'll get very frustrated, very upset with myself. What's wrong with me? I'd ask. And then I'll hear the chatter, the laughter, the gossip. I'd be so upset with the other students. Why are you laughing at me? It's not fair. Fast forward to college. We had PowerPoint presentations. Every semester, we were tasked to present in class. And I was excited. I was going to overcome this fear for once and for all. What I did, I put together my PowerPoint presentations, and on the day of presenting, as soon as I'll turn the PowerPoint on, first slide, second slide, third slide, fourth. Did you recognize what was wrong with that picture? My back was towards the audience. That is not effective communication. Literally, me facing the audience, I was cutting off communication. I was showing them the slides, but not showing them my body language and using my communication skills effectively. In my junior year of college, I was so determined. I'm taking this communication class and I am getting over this fear for once and for all. To my disappointment, I passed the class with flying colors. But I was still afraid of speaking in public. And for another 10 years, I realized this was not for me. Forget about public speaking. This was not for me. Until one fateful night, I wake up. My body in pain. I was malaise. Night sweats. I would not understand what's going on with me. Had palpitations. I started recognizing, oh, these were the same symptoms my patients at the hospital were experiencing. I am COVID positive. Oh my goodness, I'm going to die. Lord, I'm not ready. I have kids. I have a career. What's going to happen to me? And while dealing with all that, so discouraged, it on my near deathbed, a small voice. Conquer your fear. And it's mistake. Everybody's dying. This is a legitimate fear. So many people were sick with the virus and they were actually dying. Would I survive? I don't know. I don't think so. And I'll stay in the bed. Didn't want to do anything. Didn't want to eat. I was just waiting for the day. And that voice got louder and louder and louder. If I knew it, I was like, why don't I just try it? It won't cost anything, just get my kids to help me. My kids helped me walk around the house, walked around the neighborhood, started force feeding myself, doing everything possible to get better. A few weeks later, I did get better. And I figured my fears were over. That was my main fear, right? Not exactly. I didn't realize I had so many other fears because this voice became vivid. I thought, what other fears are there, Grace? Look through my childhood. Oh, the memory about me not wanting to go swimming from the kids in the neighborhood, one of them drowning. That incident happened so long ago. I almost forgot about that. Then thought about the snakes I've always been terrified of. Then, how about success? That's why I didn't want to start my business in the first place, because I was so terrified of success. Oh, and then the other fear that I've been ignoring, public speaking. Public speaking. So I started thinking, what can I do about it? I know the fears, I acknowledge them. What's next? I set goals. I challenged myself to conquer each and every one of those fears. And the first one, swimming. I enrolled in swimming classes. Hooray! And I was able to work on my stroke. My instructor, Dana, was amazing. She always commended me of doing the perfect floating on water. I was so excited about that. And still worked on my stroke. And when it comes to snakes, you may ask, how about the snake? Can you imagine while sleeping at night, your son wakes you up? Mama, there's a snake in the house. What would you do? What would you do? This actually happened to me last year. And at first I thought, stop playing, Christian. I'm trying to sleep. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. No, Mama. The snake is in my room. I accidentally stepped on it while going to the restroom. Are you okay? Are you okay? Let me check. While investigating the situations and examining him, I was like, what is going to happen to the snake? What if it goes to the next room where my daughter is? As I rushed to the utility closet to pick up a shovel and a broom towards his room, a part of me saying, Grace, what are you going to do about this snake? I do not understand snakes. No reptiles. Okay? In my book, no reptiles. Therefore, me and the snake are not friends. As I approached the room very carefully, hoping the snake actually would understand that I'm here to get rid of it so it can leave. It didn't work out. Because the more I go towards the snake, guess what? The father will get into it. my son's room. Oh my goodness, so I thought the broom would help. No, the broom was pushing me farther. Under the bed. No! I don't want you to be in my son's bed. Oh my goodness, it was a struggle, a long struggle for over an hour. At 2 o'clock in the morning, Lil screaming. I was hoping the neighbors don't call the police. Because it was late to be screaming because I was fighting the snake. And I was so blessed to be able to confine the snake eventually and put it in a plastic bag and throw it outside in a trash can. I did it though, but I was determined that snake was not going to be in my son's room. And the third thing was success. I remember I have been fearful of success mainly because so many people in my life started businesses and didn't succeed. And that fear crippled me because it was so many other people's fears. I was thinking that was my fear. But I never started a business of my own. And I grew up with entrepreneurs. I consider myself an entrepreneur at heart because both my parents are. And I always admire when people start something from scratch. That inspires me. And I challenge myself that I was actually going to transition from healthcare to real estate full time, especially during a tough time like now. It was tough. But I did challenge myself and I was able to transition. And I'm still working on my success. Who doesn't want to be successful around us? You see, all of us want to be successful. So I'm definitely determined to get to the success I'd like to achieve. Who among us wants to learn more tips to be an effective communicator? This actually makes a big difference, especially us in sales, the way you communicate with clients. That builds a connection, that builds trust. And communication is not just verbal. Majority is non-verbal. When we meet clients, are you shying around? Or you don't want to look at them face to face? How are your gestures? Are your gestures actually matching what you're saying? How is your body language? When somebody greets you, you say, do you give them a firm handshake? All that matters. Because, like it or not, first impressions are important and we all have them. So many of us form first impressions, or all of us form first impressions before we actually meet other people. And your first impressions also can make a difference on if that person does business with you or they don't. Therefore, are you professional? How are you presenting yourself? How is your communication? Are you using a lot of, like, right? All those filler words. Because that also hinders communication. You're not straight to the point. How is your technique? Do you let other people finish their sentences? Or are you always quick to finish the sentence for them? Do you ask them for their opinion? Are you quiet more than you speak? Those are very wonderful ways you can build that connection and trust with a client. Not only will you satisfy that client, I bet you will delight them as well. And that's exactly what we want, right? To delight our clients. And for public speaking, I chose Toastmasters. And I can say I am grateful to Toastmasters because for me to be here today with all of y'all, I wouldn't have done it 2 years ago if it wasn't for Toastmasters. And not just the self-confidence. I just thought about the filler words. How I'm able to remind myself, Grace, if you're about to use a filler word, at least pause and think about what you're about to say first before you actually say it. Being able to listen actively and let somebody finish their train of thought before I respond. That's important. And we learn these skills by actively listening as grammarians, our word masters, our counters, so many different roles we take on when we engage in Toastmaster meetings. I have wonderful mentors who are very willing to assist me grow on my journey. Because initially, I thought, Grace, you know what? I'm going to spearhead this process. I'm going to pay for a coach. I looked at the price tag. It's in thousands of dollars. You can check it out. Thousands of dollars. I wasn't ready. I love the coaching I'm getting because it's very beneficial to my growth. The pathway system, we have a learning system called pathway. Some will talk more about the pathway system, but I chose the leadership development. And you may ask, what is leadership development? Okay, that's exactly what I said initially. I wanted to become a better leader. And in doing that, this pathway has given me the steps and some tips and skills that I need to become an effective leader. And also, all the leadership roles we are able to access. Say, for example, I'm a vice president of membership at GSU Toastmasters and also Area 8 director. I'm able to network. I'm able to assist other new people who are joining Toastmasters grow on this journey. And if I can say, oh my goodness, that's one of the biggest things I'm grateful for. Being able to impact what I'm learning, to invite in somebody else to help them grow as they go. I like this quote. When you learn, teach. When you get, give. And that's what I'm trying to do for somebody else. And so many amazing, wonderful things I've learned from Toastmasters. I probably can't name them all. I'm here to encourage you. Whatever fears you have, acknowledge them. Do you want to leave a lasting impression? I'll leave you with a few tips. First, acknowledge where you are in your communication. 2 is set those SMART goals. S for simple, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time specific. You have to put a deadline on when you want to start. And also a plan, which is the start thing. Having a plan will help you. Making sure you have short-term goals, intermediate as well as long-term goals. So that's your plan, it's your roadmap to achieve that goal you want. And also prioritize those goals. My active listening goal is not the same as my filler word goal. It's a work in progress. Active listening was really important to me because I had challenging people telling me, Grace, I need to say something. Grace, slow down. That means I was not actually listening. And I had to challenge myself to actually quiet down and listen. And I'm still working on the filler words as I go. But I have to prioritize my active listening first. And last but not least is commit. Commit to the process. This is a journey, not a sprint. You have to put in the work. Like Nike says, just do it. You'll never be disappointed.